Greetings all. This is Valerie from Woman Wise Health. Now, I just wanted to do a quick video for you to show you how I got started when it came to womb wellness. So essentially, having suffered with heavy bleeding and fibroids for a good number of years, back in 2017, I decided that I was going to take matters into my own hands because at the time I got really anemic. The periods are just horrendous. So I thought, and after a lot of prodding and poking at the hospitals, I thought, you know what? Let me take matters into my own hands because these guys won't be able to help me. So, what I've got here is how I got started in terms of the supplements that I started taking. Now, I want to make it very clear that this is what I researched that worked for me. And also the fact that I am a nutritional therapist, I'm a detox specialist. So detoxification was key for me to get started because I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, then I'm going to use my knowledge and my skills. And literally, I went all in and I cleared myself out using some of these products. So the products you see here on the screen, they're not everything I took. I can assure you there were a lot more than this. But to get started, when I first started, should I say, I this is what I started on, but not all at once, may I add. So essentially, I got the Parasmart here because I love the Reu Life products because I've actually worked for the company. So no, I'm not promoting them. I'm not an affiliate or anything like that. It's just that at the time, a number of years ago, I worked for the company. So obviously I took the products as well because I knew they worked. And so bearing in mind also before I get going and explaining how I got started is that I actually went to see somebody myself. I actually went to see another practitioner to see what was going on because I thought if I'm going to start this, then I need to have at least a baseline to know where I'm starting from. Because what I see many women do is that they start out, they just read a bunch of stuff, they go and think, right, okay, see what everybody else is doing, and they go and do it themselves and often with not much success. So, what I did is I actually went to see somebody first. So, I had a baseline, I knew where I was starting from. And the thing he said to me that was key was detox, detox, detox. And having had already done a load of detoxing in the past, I thought, well, that makes sense to me. So I went all in. I thought, right, okay, this is what I'm going to start off doing. So I started off with a parasite cleanse because that was the factors that were affecting me the most is that the heavy metals and the parasites. So I thought, okay, let me start there. So I went and bought Parasmart. I went and bought 2 boxes of those and I did the 15-day targeted cleanses. Now, bearing in mind, I continued eating, pretty normally. I was tidying up my diet. My diet was pretty okay, but I just went that much further in terms of tidying up, making sure that there wasn't any junk or anything like that. And then Parasmart I did for the 30 days. And then I moved on to Cleansmore the following month. So I probably gave it a couple of weeks break because one thing I learned is that when you're detoxing is that you don't do everything all together. So all the supplements you see listed here, all of these I took some of them I took together, some of them I took separately. So the Parasmart here I took separately. The Cleanse More I took, on its own. I didn't take anything else. And the same was with the Toxivent, zeolite with activated charcoal as well. The Epsom salts, the psyllium husk, and the aloe verox, they came later on when I was doing, further cleanses to help with the liver. When I started doing the liver flushes, for instance, I was using the psyllium husk to help flush things out. And yeah, so the Cleanse More came next, and I did a full colon cleanse with the Cleanse More. So I started taking that for a good number of weeks. And what the aim was is to clear everything out, as I've already said in the beginning. I knew what I was doing. And with a lot of these, especially with the Toxaprevent, I mega dosed. Like I said, I knew what I was doing. As a specialist, I thought I'm going to go all in. There was no messing about. I was determined, absolutely determined to nip this situation in the bud. I'd had enough of being anemic. I had enough of being tired all the time to the point where I couldn't even carry myself up the stairs. I was fed up of having to, go out with a hand bag full of tampons and pads, and I was just fed up with it, and having to know where the toilet was just in case, and having accidents as well, because it was embarrassing, especially when you're out in public, and that happens so often. And I was absolutely fed up with it. So this is why I did it, because I just got down and I thought, right, what do I need to do? But the catalyst was because I had a baseline. I knew where I was starting from. So many people know that they have fibroids. They know that they're suffering with these symptoms, but have no idea what the root cause is. I knew what the root cause was. And toxicity in terms of parasites and heavy metals was was what was affecting me the most. And so those were what I call my detox supplements. So the supplements over here are a number of things I took probably before I even started on the detox. Actually, I took a bunch of these. Like a lot of women do, you just start out, start taking loads and loads of supplements just to see if anything works. The serapeptase, oh God, I had a real bad time with that. Initially, when I first took it, I had what I call amazing cramps, and I don't mean that in a good way, to the point where I was throwing up. The cramps were immense. I was doubled up in pain. I couldn't do anything. But after I detoxed and I started taking serapeptase again, that didn't happen. I took that for a good long while, but I didn't see anything, any major changes, so to speak. The Curcu Forte is from the same supplement company. That was for anti-inflammatory purposes, as was the Blockbuster All Clear. All were designed to help break down any fibroids or any scarring that was occurring within my womb. The fibro defense, the camu, vitamin D, all those were just nutrients to help my body, retain nutrients, so to speak. But one thing I did know for sure is that I had to improve my digestion. I had, apart from the detoxing, improving my digestion was one of the key objectives that I knew I had to fix, because digestion is the key to everything. It's the foundation for health. So despite doing a bunch of detoxes like the liver flushing, the lymphatic flushing. I was doing so much stuff. And I'm going to go on about, and I'll do another video in terms of the 5 levels of healing. The 5 levels of healing is from a doctor who's based in America, Dr. Dietrich Klinghardt from the Klinghardt Institute. And he's got something called the 5 levels of healing. And I can honestly say that I can that has definitely been my journey. So how I got started here with the detoxing and the supplements, like I said, these supplements are not everything that I've taken. There's a whole bunch, but yeah, yeah, yeah. This is how I started. I started with the physical. So I started with the physical healing, and I did that for a while. And bearing in mind also that my detox took quite a while, on and off. It took around 18 months. Yes, I said that, 18 months, because many people start on with a detox. They think, yeah, just do a week, couple of weeks. When you've got chronic health issues, you've got to take your time with detoxing. This is what I'm saying, where I knew what I was doing. See, because unfortunately, if you know about detox, it's better to have somebody guide you through it rather than you do it yourself, because then you need to know, right, if something happens, you need to know why it happens, because so many people get what you call a healing crisis and they don't know how to deal with it. And so inevitably what happens is that they end up stopping what they're doing, which is defeats the whole purpose of starting a detox in the first place. So right, I'm going to end it there now, but I just wanted to share with you the types of, supplements that I took when I first started on this journey back in 2018. After suffering for many, many, many years, having 2 surgeries, which didn't help one iota. Don't get me wrong, the surgeries, I'm so glad I had them, but unfortunately they didn't remove all the fibroids, and got to the point where I made the decision I was not going to have any more surgery, because the anesthetic is just lethal stuff for my body. So I had to take matters into my own hands. I really didn't have much of an option. It was either go down the surgery route again or do it myself. And I chose the latter. And it's a journey that I've been on ever since. I'm always detoxing. I'm always helping my body do what it needs to do. And I can guarantee it's worked. And things have improved considerably. Like I said, this was just the physical, but I'm going to talk about the 5 levels of healing again, which is not something I teach. It's something the doctor in America teaches, but I can really see how my healing journey has gone along that path without me even thinking about it. Anyway, so I'm going to leave it there now, and I hope you have found this helpful. Let me know in the comments what you're doing to help yourself. Basically, it'll be good to know. It'll be good to hear from you, and I shall, speak to you soon. So have a good day, and yeah, we'll chat soon.